I think it's important to think about kind of the real big picture for a second. The Fed's balance sheet went from sub 1 trillion in 2008 to 4.5 trillion by 2019. And then from 2020, when the COVID hit, it went from 4 trillion to 9 trillion in 2 years. We added 40% more money to the system in 2-year period. So we got about 40% inflation. In fact, the housing index, the government's own housing index was up 50% during Biden's term. So now the Fed has actually reduced its balance sheet by 25%. It's gone from 9 trillion to 6.7. And the Fed continues to quantitatively tighten on a daily basis. So there's no real structural positives from a monetary creation perspective to support the stock market. And now the tariffs are scaring investors. So, I think the tariffs are thoughtful. I think they will work. I think you've already seen Vietnam ask for a 90-day reprieve to negotiate. You're going to see a lot of first class plane tickets from delegations from all around the world coming to meet with the president to try to hammer this out. Look, how many times have you heard people complain in desperation and talk about the size of our deficit being 2 trillion on government revenues of what, 4.5 trillion? We must cut our deficit, Brian. The whole world's told us that. Our own economists tell us that. And so when Trump moves to do a couple of things that will close that deficit, number one, if D.O.G.E and Elon Musk are successful in cutting government expenditures, cutting the fat, let's say they cut, I don't know what your number is. I would say 400 to 600 billion is doable on a number of 6.5 trillion. That will be cutting 10% of government spending. U.S. government spending is 23% of GDP. That is a recessionary impulse, but it's necessary. The tariff move is akin to a currency devaluation. It will raise somewhere between 300 billion and 600 billion in external revenue. There is a path that Trump and Secretary Bessent are talking about here, taking us to showing us how we cut $1 trillion out of that deficit, right? When I talk about working, we're going to cut our deficit by $1 trillion, and we're going to reset what the term fair means with reciprocal tariffs. And so, yes, that's going to be difficult in the near term. In the long term, it's going to give us a positive foundation for growth.